It's 1969 428 COBRA Jet Mustang. I bought it in 2006. It was mostly complete, but it needed a full restoration. The body was actually in pretty good shape, very little rust for a Midwest car. They went over the body completely, straightened anything. There were a few things here and there that needed to be patched up, just very small surface rust stuff. The interior was largely complete. It's the original seats and everything, but I sent off all the dash to be replated and redone. The gauges were all redone. The engine was completely rebuilt. Transmission completely rebuilt. The suspension is all original, but it was also completely rebuilt. Everything we did on the car tried to do back to factory standard. So it was done earlier this year, and I came from Indiana. The car was restored in Indiana. It got finished early part of this year. This is the correct color. It's a base coat, clear coat, which they weren't back then, but it is the right color, Acapulco blue. We had it blasted, and then it was worked up from there. It was rated at 335. This engine was recognized for being rated lower to get underneath insurance. So the guesstimates of it were in the 400 range. It's a 4-speed top loader. That's the actual transmission that came with it. And when we had it rebuilt, I had a friend of mine that rebuilds them, and he helped with the restoration. But the parts were ordered from a guy that's all he does is top loaders. Put a lot of time into it, but mostly the engine was dynoed when we had the engine rebuilt, so I was confident in it. But the transmission was completely rebuilt, and there's no way to know whether it works or not other than driving it. So the first few times I drove around the neighborhood, in my village, just to make sure it shifted okay. The first real drive I had went down to Brownwood for a car show down there, and the next time I went to take it out, the transmission stuck. It took me probably 10 minutes to get it in gear, and I've been a little nervous, ever since. But I'm working at it. I try and get out at least once a month, and I won't drive it in the rain. So if I don't get out in the morning, I won't take it out in the afternoon here. But looking forward to getting it out more frequently as the cooler weather comes and the rain disappears. And the goal is to do more car shows and get to hang out with other car guys that have similar interests. It rides great. Actually, I'm surprised how well it rides. One of the first cars I owned was a '75 Mustang, and this was my favorite car growing up. Just one, couldn't afford it, and two, there was no way my parents were going to let me have one of these as a young kid. This was my car, and it's a long time coming that it's finally done. I bought it in '06, got it here, in 2024, and I'm just glad to have it. Just the fact that I'm able to drive it, get in the car, and enjoy it, is really the favorite thing. I love the Ram Air, the shaker hood on this thing, the fastback, body style. It's just, it was always my favorite, and I'm glad to be able to say that I have one now. Very nice car. So I had a guy that I worked with, and he ended up hooking me up with another guy that literally did the work. But I was over there every weekend, helping with identifying parts, finding parts, and that was really the role that I played. I went over